If your texts feel needy, forced, or too polished, she can feel it before she even replies, because texting women is not about sending the perfect line, it's about sending the right energy through a small screen. And here's what most men get wrong. They treat texting like a performance. They try too hard to be funny. They overthink every word. They send paragraphs when one sentence would work. They panic when she takes time to reply. They turn a simple chat into a full emotional audition. And that's when texting becomes cringe. Not because the words are always terrible, but because the energy behind them feels desperate. The real art of texting women is simple. Be clear, be relaxed, be playful, be intentional, and never let the conversation feel like you're begging for her attention. Number 1. Text like you have a life outside the chat. This is the foundation. A lot of men text like the conversation is the most important event of their day. They reply instantly every time. They keep adding messages when she doesn't respond. They try to revive dead conversations over and over again. And slowly their attention starts feeling too available. Here's where it gets interesting. Women can sense when a man is waiting by the phone, even if he tries to hide it. It shows in how fast he reacts, how much he explains, how nervous he becomes when the conversation slows down. The fix is not to ignore her. The fix is to actually have something going on. When your life has movement, your texts naturally become better. You don't need to force scarcity. You simply aren't sitting there waiting. Your messages become shorter, cleaner, and more confident. Instead of texting all day with no purpose, you create small moments of connection, then return to your life. That makes your attention feel healthier, and healthier attention feels more attractive. Number 2, stop opening with dead questions. Most boring text conversations begin the same way. Hey, what's up? How are you? What are you doing? These are not evil messages, but they put all the work on her. Now she has to create the energy. And if she's busy, tired, or not already highly invested, she may give a dry response. A better opener gives her something easy to react to. Not a long speech, not a pickup line. Something with a little personality. For example, I just saw something that reminded me of your chaotic energy. Or, you seem like someone who has a strong opinion on this. Or, I need a quick judgment from you. Now she has a reason to respond. There's curiosity, there's a hook, there's movement, and this changes everything. Because good texting is not about asking for energy. It's about creating energy. Number 3, use fewer words than your anxiety wants to use. This is a big one. When men get nervous, they overtext. They explain the joke, then explain the explanation, then add haha to make it safe, then send another message to clarify. And suddenly the text feels weak, because too many words can make your confidence disappear. A clean message feels stronger. If you want to compliment her, don't write a full essay. Say something simple that actually suits you. Or, you looked different today in a good way. Then stop. Let it land. Don't chase the reaction. Most people miss this. A good text has space around it. When you send something strong and then immediately soften it with extra words, you remove the tension. So before you press send, ask yourself, am I adding this because it improves the message, or because I'm nervous? If it's nervousness, delete it. Number 4, don't turn texting into customer service. Some men become too formal. They answer everything politely. They ask safe questions. They never tease. They never create emotion. They text like they're speaking to a manager, and that kills attraction. Because texting needs personality, not fake personality, real personality. If she says, I'm always late, don't just say, oh, okay. Say, so time management is your enemy, noted. If she says, I'm tired, don't only say rest well. Say, you give I need sleep, but I'll still scroll for 2 hours energy. That's playful. It gives the conversation flavor. And here's the key. You're not insulting her. You're creating a little spark. Because women don't remember the man who texted perfectly safe lines. They remember the man who made the chat feel alive. Number 5, match her investment without copying her dryness. This is where balance matters. If she sends one short message, don't reply with 7 lines. If she takes hours to respond, don't instantly flood her with excitement. If she gives low energy, don't reward it with high emotional effort. But don't become bitter either. You don't need to punish her. You simply match the reality. If she's giving light energy, keep it light. If she's giving more, you can give more. Texting is a rhythm. If one person is dancing and the other person is standing still, it feels awkward. So pay attention to the exchange. Is she asking questions? Is she adding details? Is she opening new topics? Is she responding with emotion? If yes, continue. If not, don't drag the chat. A simple rule. Don't carry a conversation that she keeps dropping. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you socially aware. Number 6. Move from texting to real life before the energy dies. Texting is not the final destination. It's a bridge. A lot of men ruin good chemistry because they keep the conversation online forever. They text for days, weeks, sometimes months, but never make a real move. And eventually, the spark becomes routine. She stops feeling excitement. The chat becomes background noise. And here's the truth. If the energy is good, use it. Don't wait until the conversation becomes dry. Say something simple. You're fun to talk to. We should do this in person. Or, this conversation needs coffee, not more texting. Or, I'm going to test if you're this interesting in real life. That kind of message is direct, but not needy. It moves the interaction forward. Because confident texting has direction. Cringe texting has endless hesitation. Number 7. Don't emotionally react to slow replies. This is where many men expose themselves. She takes longer to reply, and suddenly he changes. He sends, he says, I guess you're busy. He becomes cold. He posts something, hoping she sees it. He acts like her delay personally attacked him, and that instantly makes the connection feel heavy. Here's the deeper truth. Slow replies are not always disrespect. People have lives. People get tired. People forget. People lose focus. But even if she is losing interest, emotional panic won't fix it. It only lowers your value. The better response is calmness. If she replies late, don't make it a courtroom case. Continue normally if the energy is still good. If the pattern becomes low effort, step back. No drama, no complaint, no desperate confrontation, because how you handle distance says more about your confidence than how you handle attention. Number 8. Stop using compliments as conversation fuel. Compliments are fine, but if every conversation depends on praising her, it becomes predictable. You're beautiful. You're cute. You're amazing. You're perfect. After a while, it loses weight. And sometimes it makes you sound like every other guy. A stronger compliment is specific and occasional, not constant, not worshipful. Specific. Instead of, you're pretty, say, you have a very calm face, but your replies are not calm at all. Or, you act innocent, but I'm not fully convinced. This mixes attention with playfulness. It makes the compliment feel less needy and more interesting. And this changes everything. Because the best compliments don't sound like begging. They sound like noticing. Number 9. Know when to end the conversation. This is an underrated texting skill. Most men wait until the conversation becomes dry before leaving. They keep texting until both people are bored. Then they wonder why the next conversation starts weaker. End while the energy is still decent. Not suddenly, not as a tactic, just naturally. You can say, I have to get back to work, but this was fun. Or, I'm going to disappear before this becomes a boring interview. That leaves the conversation with a good aftertaste, and that matters. Because people remember how an interaction ends. If you always end with dry replies, the connection starts feeling dull. If you end while there's still energy, she is more likely to want the next conversation. Now here's the part every man needs to understand. Texting women is not about tricks. It's not about memorizing lines. It's not about waiting exactly 37 minutes before replying. That kind of thinking makes you robotic. The real art is emotional control. Don't text from fear. Don't text from boredom. Don't text to prove your worth. Don't text like her reply decides your value. Text like a man who enjoys the interaction, but still owns his life. That means your messages have personality. Your attention has limits. Your compliments have intention. Your timing has rhythm. Your interest has direction. And your silence doesn't come from punishment. It comes from having a life beyond the chat. Because the least cringe thing a man can do is be grounded. He doesn't need to force jokes. He doesn't need to over-explain. He doesn't need to keep every conversation alive by himself. He simply creates a good feeling, reads the energy, and knows when to move forward or step back. And when you text like that, something changes. You stop feeling like another notification. You start feeling like a man with presence.